Clear the runway, baby. I get money from Sunday to Sunday, lady. Oh, behave. I'm young, rich, famous. Grind and keep my pockets on Schwarzenegger. OG in my swisher, so my blunt tastes flavor. Down it. Y'all niggas can get it if you want it. Trying to catch a flight, I'm in the backseat. Playing Xbox, car service, just chillin'. Burners in the wall, money all through the ceiling.
What's up, peeps? Julian Williams here at the distance. Finally here in 2012. Pretty much I hadn't made a video in almost like 3 weeks now, so which is unusual, but it is what it is. So anyway, I'm back here for my first video, 2012. Jermain Taylor and Andre Dirrell return. Pretty much it was on Showtime like a week ago. Andre Dirrell fought Dirrell Cunningham and Jermain Taylor fought Jesse Nicklo. Pretty much both of them, I guess both of them came in, they had like different agendas as they went into the ring. I think that Dirrell wanted to go in and get himself a knockout, you know, get himself, you know, a little bit of, you know, exposure in that, more, I mean, you know, get back into the rhythm of things and get more exposure in that super middleweight division to work his way up back into, you know, maybe top 10, top 15, whatever, you know, because he hadn't been in the ring in a couple years, and I think with him, he probably needed to build, you know, a lot of his confidence back. He didn't look as quick, but, you know, against Dirrell Cunningham, you know, if it's an early knockout, you know, that will do against an opponent like that, because I don't think that Dirrell Cunningham is even on that level. Back on August 6th, for the August 6th fight with Kelly Pavlik, I think Kelly Pavlik would have dominated him as well. But just overall, Andre Dirrell, you know, had a really good performance, you know, knocked him out. But just overall, you know, not much you could say about that fight. But to the Jermain Taylor fight, Jermain Taylor has been out of the ring for 2 years now. He fought Jesse Nicklo. Pretty much that fight did end. The referee did stop the fight very early, and as we all know, I think he probably should have let the fight go on for a few seconds, and he may have been looking for reasons to end the fight, who knows. But just overall, Jermain Taylor, in the first 4 rounds, did not look as sharp. You know, his movement was very calculated, his timing was off, and I guess, you know, he probably hurt his right hand because he wasn't throwing it as much. But just overall, you know, in that 5th round, and I think it started in the 5th round when he began throwing more jabs. He had a different look in his eye in the 5th round compared to kind of that look he had in the 4th round, to where he was a bit tentative and you know, was a bit nervous. But you know, in round 5, you know, he became more sharper. You know, he worked a lot more behind the jab, and he was a little more aggressive. He's putting more punches together. So, just overall, I just think that Jermain Taylor is saying 3 fights in 2012. I would put him back in the ring as early as possible. I think that if they're going to build Jermain Taylor back up, then they're going to have to build him up as if he's like a prospect. They're going to have to put him in the ring, and they're going to have to continuously test him and put him in, you know, tough fights. This is not the Jermain Taylor 2006, of course. You know, he's older, he's been knocked out, he has losses on his record. And he missed 2 years of his career, you know, missed 2 years of his boxing career. And I guess, you know, because of losing 4 out of 5 or some along those lines. So, just overall, you know, they have to treat him as if he's a prospect. They have to slowly build him back up. So, and not only that, you know, there's countless fighters that he could face at 160 pounds or numerous 154-pound guys that will move up to face him, just because he's Jermain Taylor, of course. I wouldn't mind seeing him against Ishe Smith. I wouldn't even mind seeing him against Grady Brewer. You know, one of those contender guys, you know, because that's pretty much what they are. Contenders, journeyman. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing them again. I wouldn't even mind seeing them against Curtis Showtime Stevens. I wouldn't mind seeing them against a lot of these, you know, either young contenders or a tough contender. Somebody that can give him a tough fight. I don't think, and now I think about it, I don't even think Stevens is 160 pounds, so just scratch that off the list. But just a lot of guys out there that are contenders that would be willing to face Jermain Taylor. This version of Jermain Taylor did look like a he did look somewhat like a fighter that's been out of the ring for a couple years, and he's gonna slowly have to work his way back up. Get his rhythm back, and his rhythm was off. He was rusty. His timing was off. I think he has to. I think first off, he's gonna have to spar a hell of a lot more, and find better sparring partners. That's just my opinion. Better sparring partners, somebody that's gonna pressure him. And also, I think if I was like Jermain Taylor's trainer, and this is only my opinion, if I was Jermain Taylor's trainer, I would try to work a little more behind the right hand, or work with the right hand a lot more. There were moments to where Nicola was leading him with his head to where he could have just threw the right hand. He could have just thrown a straight right hand and probably taken him out of there a lot earlier, but he's been out of the ring. He wants to get rounds, of course. So he's not going to go in with bad intentions and try to take him out, of course. So, and not only that, I work a little bit on defense, whether he uses the gloves to block punches, or block right hands, or if he uses legs a lot more, uses shoulders. I think defensively he needs a lot of work, if you ask me, because I think a fighter with a good right hand could have taken him out, and that's only my opinion. But he made 160, which is cool, which is great, I guess. But overall, we'll see what he's made of later on in the next year or so. I wouldn't put him in the title picture right away. I'd probably wait a year and a half before I would even consider putting him in the title picture. And not only that, Sergio Martinez is going to need more opponents in the future. So if he continues to win, and Jermain Taylor will probably be, I would say if Sergio Martinez continues winning, Jermain Taylor continues winning, I bet you they both fight each other in a year and a half, 2 years time, if they both are continuing the fight. So anyway, peeps, I'm out here. That was The Distance. Thanks for watching.
Boogie. Pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back, pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back, pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back, pumps in a back, pumps in a back. Give me the girls with the pumps in a back.